Hey everybody, it's MC and I am here with my Christmas layouts, and I am going to actually put some of these together on camera, mainly because I have one of my students for the class who actually can't make the class, and she's going to pick up her kit, and I wanted to make sure that she had the instructions to put her kit together. So what we are using is the Cartabella, so this is Christmas collection, and I have already cut up everything and put it into the kits. And so all really that is needed out of here now that's left is the sticker sheet. And so I'm going to set the sticker sheet aside and I'm going to show you how my layouts are presented. And usually they come like this in page protectors, and everything for this particular layout, which is this one here, is already pre-cut and ready to go. So I'm going to take this and pull it out, and then we can just quickly put this together. And let me see here, what have we got? What do we have here? There's going to be a lot of these 1/4" pieces, and let's see if I can get in a little bit closer for you guys. There we go, just a tiny bit closer. A lot of 1/4" strips, so it's really recommended that you use a tape runner. And I use Scotch adhesive dot roller with permanent, and often I use also the Tombow permanent. So this is actually fairly easy once it's all cut up for you. So what we're going to do is we're going to center this on this piece of paper. And I'm just going to make sure that I adhere the right side. And I'm lucky I'm able to do this because, as you could tell, I already have one set that's put together here. And that's the set that is for my family for Christmas. And usually what I do is the layouts that I make for my class this December will hold the pictures from Christmas last December. And that is part of the present for my family. And so we're just going to center this, and just so that you can probably see better, I am just working on this right now and making sure that it's centered. And one of the things that you will notice is that all companies do not create the same, even though it says it's 12 by 12 paper, it isn't always 12 by 12 paper. And this is true of this here. And that is one of the reasons why we're going to need to cut the edges a little bit. But first, we're going to make sure that this is fairly well centered. That's better. And then I'm always all the way to the edge here. And even. And that's going to make it a little easier. There we go. And I'm pretty happy with that. And as you can tell, it really does. See, there's a little bit left over here. And the next thing we're going to do is we need a couple of the stickers. And get my sticker sheet. And I am going to use part of this here. And because I'm also using this strip on a part of what's left over on a different layout, one of the things that I'm going to do, and this one seems to be not totally cut out at the end, so we're just going to have to make sure that this is nice and pretty at the end. And then I need about here, because this guy's going to go in the middle here. And I'm just not going to put him down. And one of the ways I like to do this, and all my students get one of these, is that you can tell it's 12, so it's going to be, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is the center. And that's probably close enough. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that lifted up. And I am just going to cover from here roughly to here, because I don't want to waste any. I need some more for my next layout. So here we go. And I'm just going to make sure that starts at the end over here, like that, and goes to my middle here. And there we go. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. And without any luck, and I actually think that I didn't do it that way. I think I did it this way. And I just want to check something out here. And see, my paper obviously is going to be the right length. So one of the things I'm going to do so I don't waste anything at all is right now I am going to cut my excess here. There we go. And then I'm going to do the same thing I did on the other side on this one. And I'm going to cut it right here. And lift this up a little bit, tuck this underneath. And there we go. And now we're going to get our paper back out. And we have a few reindeer here. And this is going to go up here. And see, it didn't look quite as finished here. So let me get my little, I'm trying to make sure that I stay in frame. And that's not easy because I don't have much room to work with because of the way I'm set up here. But if you notice, this doesn't look quite finished here. Look at the difference that this little strip made. Now we have a nice finished, and this may not be quite even, but once we have the other things on here, it will look pretty good. So right now, I just want to make sure that I don't mess up the rest of this because I need it for another layout. And the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to set this up here. And I'm just going to put adhesive on it all over the place. And I'm a great believer in getting your adhesive right on the sides and particularly in the corners, because your corners are going to be what's most vulnerable to lift when you take your layouts in and out. Okay, so now we're just going to put this, and we're going to put it about here. If you look at this one here, you can see that we need to be a little higher. And I am just under the stars. So there we go. And we should be nice and even. There we go. And now we're going to put adhesive on this part here. And I'm going to put that over here. And I always start on the same side that way. And see how this makes it look. How this makes it look far more complete. So I started on this side. And I'm trying to make sure everything is even on this side. And I didn't quite get even. So see, I start here. There we go. And then I'm going to go all the way over here. I already know that my red is, or burgundy, is a little bit bigger, so I don't really have to worry. And there we go. And before I forget, I'm just going to snip this little bit off and try to do it nice and evenly, which I didn't there. There we go. Nice and even. And then I have one more strip that goes down here, like this, to sort of ground my whole layout. And I'm going to put that on right now. There we go. Again, I'm going to start on this side. And this time I actually hid my star. That's what I did. So I am going to go and make sure that this matches up with the bottom of my stars. And that will make my layout nice and even. So all I have left now is my little reindeer, and two of them already have little black noses, which I stickled the black noses, and I don't know if you can see that, but it stickles. There you go, see? And so those two are going to go on top, and these two are going to go on the bottom. And they're going to go something like this. And like this. And again, since these are identical, it makes it easier to figure out how you want to put your reindeer, but I think this will work. The neck is a kind of even with the top of the green here. So we're ready to put our little reindeer down. And again, I'm going to adhere all the antlers because you don't want, and the nose, and the tail, and the little legs. And this should work. And this is my first little guy. And again, I want him to be about like this. I want him to be jumping up and happy. Okay, and then I can take my pop dots. Any pop dot will do. You don't want something too high. These are probably a little higher than what I usually use, but it's fine. You know, there's one that's going to fit on its little head here. And I'm going to put another one right near the leg here. And another one near the other leg. Let's see if I can get the little extras off here. Push down a little harder. And so this is, I love Christmas. I love Christmas layouts. I'm particularly happy this year because I haven't seen my son or daughter-in-law since their wedding in July of 2012, and I will finally get to see them. Now, the whole trick on this little guy is to put him on even, and you may have to stand up to get that nice and even at the top, so don't mind my shoulder and anything else that's showing right now, because the only thing I want to make sure of is that, there we go. And now I have a bit of a dimensional reindeer. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to start off by making sure that all my antlers, nose, and all that good stuff is going to be down completely so that it doesn't tear off. And you will have to be a little careful when you put your layout into your page protector because it'll want to pick up the legs. So you have to make sure that you do a good job. And again, I'm going to make this nice and even with the other side, which is about here. Yeah, maybe a bit more of an angle. There we go. That's close. If I look at my, I may need to make it just a bit higher here. There we go. That's better. And now I'm going to do the same thing to this one. I'm going to give it pop dots in a few places so that it pops up nicely. So on the leg, or just at the top of the leg, as close as I can get without it showing. There we go. And then again on the other leg. right there. Okay, and then one more on the little head. And sometimes I cut them in half. I don't think it's really necessary on this one, but there are times when I will cut my little pop dots in half just to make sure that I'm going to put one on her little butt here. And I think I'll put one more in the middle just so that our little reindeer doesn't sag. We don't want a saggy reindeer. That'd be sad. Saggy, saggy reindeer. Okay, and once I've got that done, I've got one layout finished. So you see, this wasn't really difficult. The only reason we started with this one, I often start with my most difficult layout, but the reason I started with this one in particular was because I need the rest of this, and I wanted to make sure that I would have the right amount left. And again, I want to make sure that and I can do this by matching the feet up, see? And then pushing. And there we go. So this takes care of my first layout. And again, I want to thank Charlene. I don't know if I finished explaining that, but Charlene allowed me to do her kit on for this video because my layouts were already done and they needed to get pictures on them so I can take them with me to Gulfport. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the other half of this layout, I think. This should make it nice and easy. So here's the other half of that particular layout. Let me just get that out of the page here. And as you see, we have all the pieces. And let me show you what this one looks like. This one has the journaling. It has a sticker here, similar to, so that it will match. So this is what they look like together. So they all both have reindeers and whatnot. And I know you're kind of seeing this from far away, so hopefully you're able to expand and see it full screen on your laptop or something. So, as you can tell, there's no frame to this. So that's one of the things we have to do. And this time we are using strips. And I am missing something. Don't you just love that when you're missing a piece? Okay. Let me just get the pieces I need. I must have put it in the wrong page here. Okay, I'll take some from here and then there we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I am going to check first how I did this. And sometimes you can tell. Okay, so it's like this. And then the top is the small. And the bottom's going to have like the heftier. So that's going to go up here. And this is going to go down here. Okay. And then we need to go around this little guy here with this. So, okay. And the way we're going to do this is pretty easy. We're going to start off by just doing one side. Okay, I'm leaving a little bit of an edge, so. And then we're just going to cut this off like this. And then this, with any luck, will go here. like this. And then this will go here. Like so. And finally, this will go here. And as you can see, I'm not even worried that there's extra here. It doesn't really matter, it won't show. What does matter is that I come out even over here. And there we go. And I think I will cut just a little bit more off here. And sometimes you have to adjust a little bit, but I think it'll look prettier if I... There we go. Now we're even. There we go. And that's as easy as that. So now we have that ready. And I am going to need some dots. So let me just grab that. I will be back with you in just a second, and I may be able to just sort of cut this out later. But for now, I need to get okay. So this is what I really want. Okay. This is what I really wanted for down here. So let me just check that this works. Yeah. And we'll put this back where it belongs. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to now just put this on top of here. And here we go. We're just going to adhere that right there. Okay. And again, I'm going to start on one side, and I will cut off any excess. So there we go. That's pretty close to even. And that means that it'll be pretty close to even the whole way. Okay, and I have a little bit of extra here, so I'm just going to, again, cut that off. There we go. And okay, back to the comfort zone. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to adhere our strips up here. And this does have, just so you know, there are two sides to this, one completely flat side and one slightly orange peely type kind of feel to it. And I am going to just put that under the second dot from the top. There we go. Our dots are pretty even at the top, so that's one of the things when you do this. If you have a point that you can figure out how it works, then good. And if for some odd reason it doesn't work very well, then you need to, you know, shift gears and adjust. So we're going to put this strip down. And let me just show you here. I'm pretty sure I was out of... Okay, so this one's going to start here and go right against it, that first one. And that makes it nice and easy. If you get that first one on just right, or pretty close to just right, then maybe putting the rest of them on is like a breeze. Okay. And now we're going to put this guy at the bottom. And again, it's 2 dots from the bottom. And sometimes you end up with like little, you don't want to leave a tag like that on there because it may cause, it's a different adhesive and it may cause it to lift a little. So, okay. There we go. And again, like I said, it's 2 from the bottom. So that looks just about right. There we go, nice and even. And the next thing we're going to do is we are going to put this guy over here. And it's just a tad at an angle. It isn't really much of an angle, but it's just enough of an angle to do this. Okay, so again, we're going to just put adhesive. And I knew that was going to run out, so I have another one ready here. Let's just take this one out. And then just put a new one in. And we should be ready to go this quickly. Okay, so I don't have any here. And I'm going to put a little dot in the middle. And then I'm going to go back to pick. I know it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but I like this. No, I like that. Okay, so we're going to do this. And again, it goes a little bit towards that last dot here. Touches over there. Okay, and now I have my 3 flowers. I'm going to put one there, one there, and I kind of want them to touch it there like that. And then this guy's going to go right in here. And these I'm going to put just a regular dot on. And I like lifting them up a bit because sometimes you don't get them exactly where you want them. So this way I know, well, if I get lucky, I know, there it is. And this is going to go like this. And this one is going to go like this. I'm almost ready for Christmas. How are you guys doing? Well, actually, by the time you see this, Christmas will have gone by because I can't show it to you till after I give the layouts away. So, and because of bad weather, we had to postpone this class. So technically, it was supposed to happen last weekend. And because of bad weather, we had to postpone it. And then we couldn't have it this weekend because I was having surgery. Today's Sunday. I am doing well. And it was dental surgery, so it wasn't, you know, half as bad, but it was still general anesthesia, which always takes me a couple of days. That and, you know, they had painkillers to take, and I'm not a big fan of painkillers, but my goodness, this flower is really giving me a tough time. So one of the things I'm going to do is I am going to pop it up a little bit more than the others. So I'm going to use a pop dot here and hope that that works. It's a small pop dot. It's just for the middle. And I'm having a hard time getting it to separate here. So let me put it on here and then hope that it'll, yeah, there we go. And that'll give it just a bit more height here. There we go. So that is done. And now I have my season's greetings. And my little, that will go in right after I put in my reindeer. And, you know, I figured that if I didn't put one with a red nose, and this one has a very dark red nose, and I don't know if you can see that, probably not. It's just going to be one of those days, right? There you go. You can sort of see that it's red, but it's not focusing very well. So again, I'm going to make sure the little legs are and the antlers all are adhered properly. And this little guy goes like this. And the little red nose one is going to get popped up like the other ones were on the other page. So little dot here. Good. There we go. And a little dot here. And a little dot here. And a little dot where its back hiney is. And two more. One here. And one in the middle so it doesn't collapse in the middle. Okay, now the hard part. The hard part is getting all of these little pieces of paper off. And sometimes it's really easy, and then sometimes just because you're on camera, it goes, no, we're not going to do that the easy way. And yeah, so anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing family and my son and his wife, and it's going to be a nice Christmas, I think. Most of my wrapping is done. I think I've got all the presents covered. And I've got a couple to pick up yet tomorrow. And there we go. There goes my other little reindeer. And now all I need is my 2 stickers. I need, let me see here. I need that 24 to go right here. And I need the season's greetings right there. Whoa! It jumped out at me. And I will sit, whoops, up. Right side up would be better. Charlene might appreciate her stuff being done right side up. Okay, and there you go. That is how you put the second one together. See, it's all done. And, you know, the point I had was I really wanted you to be able to put quite a few pictures on here. And technically, I should not have, like, adhered this one. So I will rub that off so that my buddy Charlene can add more pictures behind there. So that's a nice thing about using this scotch. It really sticks. But if you make up your mind that it shouldn't have been there in the first place before it's really set, you can still pull it off and get it off there. So now she'll be able to stick something like, see, I could really stick this picture and it would still look cute. And then put a little girl here. Isn't she cute? Let's see. And so I could put big pictures. I could put a 5x7 here if I wanted to. But I could also turn around and maybe, and these all pictures won't all, like these are the same one. So my point here isn't to show you, but see, you could really put 3 like this up here too. And then just take part of a smaller one and stick it down lower. Like, for example, I don't need all of this and I don't need all of that. I could really put these people right underneath here. See what I mean? Cut the picture up. See if I cut the picture up. And like I said, I certainly would not. Here we go. Different ones. So anyway, you could really, like, the whole idea here is for you to be able to put a number of pictures on your layouts. So let's get on with the program and let's get to the next layout. Okay. 2 down, 4 to go. put this one over here. And we'll put the pictures back over there. And we will now do this one. So this is the next one we're working on. The tree is actually part of the background of this, everything else except for the Merry Christmas I put on there. So let me just get all the parts and pieces out for this one. And here we go. So here we go. I'm going to put this to the side. I already put this down on this one. This is Charlene's, and I was having a bit of a problem with something, and so I already put this down on hers. I wanted to show her something. And this is going to go right here against, I think. Right. And then I'm going to go around. So let me see here. Let's start by figuring out how this is all going to go down. I know that's going to go there, but I want to make sure that I have something that goes from here to here. And I am going to cut off that tiny little piece of white here. Whoops. Helps if you cut straight, especially if you're going to try to match things up. So hopefully this is straight. And I'm going to put this on here. Maybe I'll do it this way. I like that better. Okay. And then I'm going to put one over here, make sure that I'm nice and even top and bottom. That's close, 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 close. And then this, I'll have a piece that's going to go over here. Okay, and I now know that I need to cut this right there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to start off by centering this and putting it on. I'm just going to adhere it very quickly. And I'm going to make sure it's well adhered on this side, because that's going to sit right on the edge here. And I'm going to take a really good look. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect, but it kind of has to be centered, because otherwise it won't look very pretty. There, that should be good enough. And then I'm going to adhere this. And put that against the mat. And I'm going to do this one. Now the other thing I can do is I can actually put this one on just in case I'm not sure. No, you can't see me adhere. Let's do it over here. And I'm going to put this one on and see if it looks the way I thought it should. And it's kind of not even right here, so I'm going to cut this even. And if there's any kind of problem, it's going to show up now. See, and now I can put this one on. And I'm nice and even. It came out perfectly. There we go. And so now all I have to do is cut this, and then I'm going to put this one over here because I liked it better that way. So I'm going to cut this at the white right here, right there, and put some adhesive on here. And then I'm going to just sometimes you have to play a little bit to make sure that it's as pretty as you want it to be. Not a big deal, but I'm a bit of a perfectionist in case you didn't know that about me. So I am going to add a little bit more adhesive here. For some odd reason, it's not. There we go. And then I'm going to put this here. And I think I'm going to cut off that white almost completely. Okay. There we go. You can't see. And if you think that that's a problem or whatever, one of the nice things about life is that you can always fix anything. And let me see here. I picked my Joy to the World. And this here. Okay, and my Joy to the World goes right up here. And it kind of goes even where the two of these meet, like that. And there we go. And then this one, we'll just cut this little bit off. And this one goes the same way. It goes right here even. Now remember that thing here? Well, that thing here is what goes to hide this right there. So it starts here and it finishes. And what you can do is look at the dots. And I can tell that it needs to be cut right here where those two dots go. And that is number one. And that goes right here. And if you put it on just right, it's just above the E and even, and it changes the whole look of this thing. And then this one goes this way. And I'm going to cut this one twice because I want this and the bottom here. So I am going to cut once right here. And then I'm going to cut right here. And then just put that back on. And there we go. It's And yeah, I mess with things till I get them just the way I want them. Yeah, that's me. There you go. Perfect. Okay. And that's a bit of extra. Now, this here. All that is popped up and, there's a sticker and a sticker for that. So what I did is I took the sticker for this, which is right here, and I'm going to pop this one up. And you know what's nice is you don't have to use dots all the time. For something like this, why not just use what you have? See, if I cut this here, and then I can take this off and put it on here. And then I can make sure, see, I can go right like that. And you don't want to play with the sticky side too much because then it'll, so sometimes you just have to go with what you get. So here we go. And so this one's ready to go. And because I want to run a ribbon around it, I'm actually going to cut it a little apart, if I still can, because I forgot to do it. And the way to do that is to just pull this back up a bit, cut it up like so, and then put it on just a little bit further. And I can even pull on it a little bit, like so. There we go. And then what I'm going to do is, before I do anything else, I'm going to run this right in here. Make it much easier on myself. I didn't do that when I was doing mine because when I'm designing, I never know exactly what I'm doing. I keep on adding and subtracting. My stickers never stick as well as anybody else's because I have played with them so much. But see, now I can put this over here, like so. And then I can go around here and tie my little bow. And I really put a lot of cord in the kit, so a person doesn't have to really worry too much about not having enough ribbon. In fact, they'll probably have enough to use if they want to make and this isn't always easy. So sometimes the best way to do this is just to give in and just tie a knot and then do your loop. See, now it's nice and even. And I can just do my loop and not worry about how well or how badly it's going to move. Now I have my little loop. I don't want it to be too big because I don't want to overwhelm the rest. And for now, I'm just going to cut it right here. And these scissors have a little bit too much gunk on them. There we go. That's better. Now I have a little present, and I'm going to do the same thing with this little present. Where is it? Let me see. It is right here. See this little present right here? And I'm going to do the same thing. I can use this guy. See? Right there? I think he's going to fit very nicely. And since this is going to overlap a little bit, see, it's going to overlap. And the question is, do I want to cut off? And I do. These may not be the best scissors for it, but I think I still do want to cut out as much of the white as I can, the easy way. There we go. And then I'm going to cut right here and go around here. Okay. I'm not going to bother with the middle of the little loops. I think this will be just fine. And I'm going to put this right on top here. There we go. And then I have one more, the blue one. And where is my blue one on the sheet? Let me see here. Blue, blue, blue. There it is. And again, I am going to do the same thing. I'm going to pop this one up. And again, there's no reason not to use leftovers. So I am going to visually just go, I think this will work. And I think if I take this off, and I can tell by doing this, see, I can do it on this side before I take all the stickies off. And I can tell that I probably need to take a little bit more off. Might as well take it off on the lame side. Now the other thing is, again, I'm going to, you don't have to, but I prefer to do this, so I will take out the extra white. Okay, and here, and here. And here. Okay, and now I'm going to take off part of this adhesive. And yeah, I look like I'm all fingers, and I am right now, but hey, I'm going to put that underneath. And what's really cool is if I don't do it quite right, I can cut off anything that shows. Well, pretty much. So, see, I need to cut off some more because too much of this is showing on my little. The nice thing about this is if I were to muff this, I could just give Charlene the really pretty one. But see, what I can do is I can just go back here and cut right there. And now I'm ready to put my little present on top of my little present here, like so, and give it just that tiny little bit of more dimension. So now I've got one more, and I really should. I'm being messy here, and I am. I'm a very messy scrapper, so no surprise there. And the one thing I've got left is my little 25 here. And my 25 is going to go roughly here. And then I'm going to make a bow. There it goes. And with my leftover cord, I'm just going to make a pretty bow. And you can do it by just creating 2 loops like this. And you throw one loop around the other, go through the hole, pull, and then decide how big you want your little bow to be. I don't want mine to be too big. So there we go. Big enough, but not like ginormous. And see, now it's ready to go down, and I will put a glue dot. I should have brought a smaller glue dot, but what I'll do is I'll roll this one around, fold it in half, and fold it in a quarter, and then put it right here. And then I should be able to put my little dot right there, and my layout's done. So there you go. It's all pretty, and hopefully Charlene will like this. Okay, what's our next one? Our next one is an easy one, I think, relatively speaking. Okay, let's just find it in here. I'm going to just throw that over there. And now you can see what we're working on next. I'm just going to clean up a tiny little bit over here and get rid of my extras. I won't throw these out because you never know when you cut something wrong. It's always nice to have an extra little piece. So, but I really do want to get rid of some of these stickies that I've got on here. Okay. There we go. Okay. So I'm thinking that this is it. Yep. Okay, let me see what we have here. So first we have to figure out which goes up. This one goes up this way. And then we have this and this go on the bottom, like so. And I always like to just make sure that everything is here that's supposed to be here. And that goes here and here. This is going to go on here, so we need to figure out if this is looking the way it should. It's pretty good. So I can already adhere this to this and like stop worrying about this piece. So there we go. Okay. And then I'm going to need these three. I've got extra pieces in here. I don't know why. I do. Because I only need, oh, I know what it is. This goes around my journaling spot here. So this is basically exactly the same as we did before. So why don't we start off by just getting this on here first. And we're really lucky because we have lines in the blue here. And those are the lines that we're going to follow. So let's just put some adhesive on here. And then I'm pretty sure that this is where we need to be. 1, 2, 3 lines showing. 1, 2, 3 lines showing. So we're actually following line number 4. There we go. And then we need one of these. The nice thing is that because I kept the common denominator on all my layouts, you can actually mix and match which ones you want together. And one more of these. And while it takes a lot of time to cut, the nice thing for my students is I do all the cutting ahead of time. It makes it a lot easier. From time to time, you know, there's a piece missing, but the good thing is that I always have extra pieces with me, so it's not a big deal. Okay. I suppose we should do this guy next. That way we won't have to worry about him anymore. Or it. Sometimes I'm originally a French speaker. And from time to time, you'll see me say something like he or she when it should be it. And that's because we don't really do its in French. Everything pretty much has a gender, which you have to learn, especially when in English it would be an it. Okay, so we need this to be about up here. That looks about right. Okay. And we will just, and here again, see there's a little extra piece there? I'm going to take that off. I don't want that to stay on my layout and possibly get loose later. And I know this is very long, but I am putting together a whole bunch of layouts. Just imagine how long it would have been if you had to cut all this. Oh, and here's the easy way to figure it out. See these music notes over here? Well, you're going to go to the top of the line before the music notes, or just under that line. And that way, you're going to come out pretty even, I guess. I'm guessing. Yeah, follow that line right there on the blue. And we're good. And you know, sometimes you sit there and you go like, how can I adhere this stuff? Well, usually it works to just use your adhesive. If you have a really good tape runner, it will stay with the tape runner. And one of the things I'm going to do, and I'm going to suggest you do, and I didn't bring it with me, is to use tape in the back. And one of the things I really should do here to make it even first is, yeah, is cut that extra bit of cardstock that's jumping out at us. There we go. Okay. The other thing that you can use that works really well is, let me just get a couple of things here from my stash over here. And, yeah, I'm a little bit tape. Once I get this done, like I said, I had surgery on Friday. It's Sunday today. And the surgery kind of delayed everything I was trying to get done. It was fairly unexpected. I did try to get a lot of stuff done pre-surgery. Here's the other thing that you can use. And what you can do is you can put it right in the middle here. It really won't show all that much. And this is score tape, also known by some people as sukwang or something tape. And now the trick is going to be to lift the part that is covering the adhesive on this side up. Not always the easiest thing, especially on ribbon. And I'm not going to have an easy time of it this time, apparently. What you can do is, there we go, I think. Nope. Ah, okay. Yes, I did get it. There we go. And you just pull it off. And then you just kind of make sure that you pull it apart so that it's even. Because, you know, you just put it on the middle, so you kind of have to. There you go. Not too bad. And then we're going to go from about here. And I'm going to, again, and try to get it straight. And mine isn't straight on my first one either. It's not that easy. It's not a big deal, but I'm going to do it the other way this time. I'm going to go behind here because it doesn't really matter. Everything's going to get covered. And I'm going to cut just a little bit extra. off. Nice thing about this tape is that you can just tear it off, but it will make it easier to pull this back this time. And I'm going to go from about here. You can tell there's not much that needs to show. See, there's only this tiny little bit here that's going to actually show. So I have extra on here just to make sure that it adheres properly. Okay, and now I'm going to turn it and show you what I was meant before. It's a good thing to take some washi tape, and this is a Tim Holtz one that I've used a lot, and to just put it over here so that when you're putting your layout in, you won't pull on this side of the ribbon. And it's just a little trick. This way, when you put your layout in, it will just slip right in. At least on this side, you won't have to worry. You'll still have to be careful on the other side, but this side will be just fine. Okay. So now we can put this guy down. And it goes on top of the other one. So we're going to do the same thing as we did before. And we're going to go around. And I'm going to start over here. And cut this off right there. And then I'm going to go around here. And cut. And then I'm going to do this one down here. And I actually don't like how it's finishing off, so to make it more obvious, I'm actually going to cut this here and put that green against it, and that means that it won't finish on a white because it doesn't seem to do as good a job. And I have an old little piece here from before that is going to be perfect for here. So all I need to do is take off a tiny little bit and do it this way. I'm going to do it the other way. And then I will have something that works. Okay, just a tiny little bit more because I didn't cut it straight and my scissors are really messy right now, which doesn't really help, but yep. And there we go. There we go. And now I am ready to put these right. Aha, see, I did make a mistake, and it'll happen. I probably should have made this go, oh, no, I didn't make a mistake. I'm about to make a mistake. It goes like this. And again, I am going to adhere this one, but I'm going to adhere this one, but I'm going to leave this one open a little bit just in case when we're putting our pictures in, we decide that we and you can do this edge because that will actually help things along. And I put it right down so I can have the maximum picture space on top. And then I'm going to put this one, and it should fit right underneath it. So I'm going to lift it just a little bit. And there we go. Okay, and this one goes like this. And I'm going to just lift this up a bit. And drop this so it shows a little bit of the corner. And you know what? It might be better if my corner has some white this time, just so it shows that it's a corner showing up. There we go. Slide it in, and we're pretty good. There we go. And the only thing missing now is my 25 from my sticker sheet. And my 25 is right here. So I'm just going to grab my 25 and I am going to stick it in this corner. There we go. And now this one is also done. Okay. And what's next? Oh, we're going to do this one. Now, this looks like a piece of paper, but it isn't. These are actually 1/4-inch strips in between. And what that allowed me to do was to use the same paper right here. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had enough paper. So I guess we'll get started with this one here. And let me find all my pieces. And this is just on a green background. Green cardstock by Coordinations. Off the top of my head, I cannot tell you which color it is. It's a really good match for this collection, though. It's one of those things that I am really picky about. Okay, and I'm going to set this up here. And we're going to figure this one out. I'm pretty sure, let me see here. Okay, this looks like it's my bottom one. No, it's my middle one. This is my middle one. It doesn't really matter. I'm just trying to recreate as perfectly as possible what I did before for you guys. And like this. And really, they pretty much match up, as you can see. So anyway, now I do know that on the bottom is probably going to be my easiest start because I need the room at the top. So I know that I left just a bit more than 1/4 of an inch here. So I did one of these plus another half of these. So really, it's about here. And I started with a burgundy. So we're going to start with a burgundy, and then we'll work our way all the way up this layout. Okay, a little bit more than 1/4, about 1.5 of these strips up. So that's about right. There we go. And then a brown or a craft colored stripe. And you just build next to it. You just push against the one before it, and that should, and there you go. And then we're going to do this one. Sometimes I wonder where, you know, some of these ideas come from, because I look at other people's work, but I don't think I've ever copied anybody. I think what happens in my brain is it all gets smushed together, as it were. And then there we go. And the most important thing is to make sure that one is against the other. And then we're going to do a tan first this time. I'm going to put a tan right against here. And again, we're going to push it right against. There we go. And then we're going to do the burgundy. Okay. And then we're going to and we'll put this against this here. There we go. And the next one we're going to do is a brown or a craft. And I always make sure again that my ends are always have adhesive on them. To me, that's really important, because otherwise you just. And then we're going to use another burgundy. And you know, like, you would be having fun if you had to cut all this out, but fortunately, that's all done for you. So there we go. Okay, and we're going to put this. The hardest thing when I'm deciding to design something is that I have a limited amount of papers. I'm always aware that, you know, I'm using a kit, and then I add bunches of mats, that kind of thing. Okay, so let's make sure we're even. That's interesting. There we go. Oh, something happened to this one. I think we're going to end up cutting quite a bit on that side for some reason. Yeah, that's me making a mistake here, see? And it's not a big deal. Somehow, I could feel it when I was trying to put this one down. Somehow I went crooked on this one a little bit. So no big deal. You just pull it back up. And I'm not happy where this one started, so I'm going to pull this one up too. And we're just going to go back and fix it. And put it just a little bit further out here. There we go. And then, again, make sure that, and you can feel if it's nice and even. There we go. That's better. There we go. And now this guy, whoops. And just for the, make sure, I'm going to add a little on the corners here where I pulled it up. And there we go. See how much easier this is going on this time? Okay, and our next one is a 10. And some people don't mind, but I see to a 1/16 of an inch, and that is a pain in the, it really is, because right now I get the feeling that I messed up a little bit. And it's not much, it's about a 1/16 of an inch, and it wouldn't bother most people. So I'm gonna see if I can fix this. And it means fixing everything. And bringing it down a 1/16 of an inch. There we go. Problem is when you make a mistake like this, it gets worse as you go up. It's like, have you ever watched HGTV and they talk about how what happens like when you don't start your tiling just right on a backsplash? This is kind of the same thing. So I'm going to fix it because otherwise I would have not wanted to give this to Charlene, because if it's not perfect or close, as close to humanly perfect as, like, if I'm not happy with it, how can I give it to Charlene? So there we go. It's not a whole lot different, but now I'm happy. And see, now at the top, it looks even. So now we can put our final there we go. And then this. And I think part of the problem here is that the green papers are actually a little shy of the width of my Cartabella paper. And that creates a bit of a problem, if you see what I mean. It's not much, but it's all the way over, so I'm going to clean that up too. And since there's adhesive all the way up, that's making things a little messier than I'd like. There we go. Bit better. Okay. And now what we need is our sticker sheet again. And we need a big Merry Christmas. We need this flag. And we need It's a Wonderful Time of the Year. And the wonderful time of the year is going to go right underneath my tree here. There we go. And then my big guy here and my little guy, because I kind of have to make sure that this goes like this. So I'm going to put it first. There we go. And I will straighten it out in a minute. But my Merry Christmas is going to go over here. And I think there we go, like that. And this guy is going to not quite touch the burgundy and get tucked in underneath the sticker here. I hope you can see that. A little bit more tucked in because I don't want to see. There we go. There we go. That works. And now this one's done. And we have one last one left. And then we have the surprises, which I haven't figured out how I'm going to show you yet. Or whether I should. But I know I have to do something, so. Okay. So let's just check something out. Okay. This is our last of the 6 pages. And as you see, this one starts at the top here. So that's where we're going to start because that makes it really easy. So we're going to do this, and we're going to okay, and that goes right up here. And it might be easier to do it upside down, so I'm going to actually do this upside down. Start, because that way I can see my top and I can stay even. There we go. And there we go. And my next one, because now I'm, thinking like this. I'm thinking upside down. So my next one is a beige or craft. Why do I always say beige? Then I have to correct myself. I'm kind of silly. For the record, I am still on, I don't know if I should be operating scissors today, but I'm doing good. I'm doing good. And I really wanted this to be done. Now I have two different strips here. One is thicker than the other, so I want my thick one next. And I'm going to just adhere that. Okay. And let me see here, like this. And I'm going to make this nice and even with that side. And then I'm just going to, again, make sure that it's butted up right against here. Okay, and then I'm going to do a craft. There we go. Again, all of these are a 1/4 inch. I use my cutter peed. I still use that. And then I cut all these strips. The white edge, or the edge that is the, there's like that cutting rubber thing that you can switch out, that the blade cuts into. And there's always like a little extra on the left side when you're looking at your cutter. And that's what I make my strip even with. And that gives me an almost perfect 1/4 inch strip. Okay, that's good for this side. Now let's flip it over. Okay, so now I've got that side done. And I am going to do my bottom. And if you notice, let me show you here. My bottom has almost exactly a strip. So if you're not sure what to do, you can just put a strip over here and use that as your guide for your first one. But my first one is going to be a burgundy. So just to make sure that I know where I'm going, I'm going to put this one over here, and then I'm going to put adhesive on my burgundy one. Okay. And I know that it has to be start here, and it needs to be even, so and just as important is that it's even on this side. That looks pretty good. So I can take this one off now, and I'm going to put that one on top. There we go. And the thing about this layout is that don't worry about putting pictures over, the top and bottom. That's not a problem. It'll still look really pretty. You don't have to leave your tops and bottom borders untouched. Not a requirement. Okay, this is going to go like this. So let's just adhere this. I may have to cut this video into a couple of different videos. I might do a couple of pages at a time or something. And originally they will not be public because the class hasn't happened yet. So when you see them, it'll probably be after January 11th, except for my students. Okay, so now I have this guy to do. By now you know how to do this, right? So we're going to start with taking a little bit of white off here. There we go. And then we're going to put adhesive on here. And I'm actually going to start with my top because that's going to be the most visible part of this. So there we go. Okay. So I can cut this off. I can cut this off. Look at my poor scissors. Yeah, I'm rough on my scissors. These guys really need a good cleaning after this. Okay. That might work a little bit better. There we go. Much better. Okay. And then, yeah, that would work. I have a little piece here, so I'm going to do this here. Okay. And I'm going to cut this, put this here. And with any luck, I can cut it off at the white. And if there's a corner you don't like, that becomes, you know, the corner you hide, kind of. But this is pretty good. Okay. And I'm going to adhere this. Okay. Close to the middle. If not in the middle, it's really, really close. And then I need two more things. I need two stickers. I need Santa Claus is coming to town for the top, which is right here. And it's going to, Santa's going to be right on here. There we go. There you go, Santa. And then I have a tree that I'm taking out. And it is the tree with the light color on the top, not the green. And then I'm going to do that. And here we go. One more layout done, and that finishes our 6 layouts for today's class. And now I will go and do my special project, and we'll see some more later. Thanks for watching, and I hope you're having fun doing your layouts. Bye-bye.